Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. Are you paying attention to what's happening right now, pre-market? Well, if not, I'm going to enlighten you a little bit here. So yes, it is Monday, January 10th, 2022. People turn on, I don't know, pick one, Bloomberg, Fox Business, CNBC, whatever. The narrative is, well, nothing shocking to you, of course, but I guess it's spooking the market. What am I talking about? Well, I gotta laugh. I'm sorry. But apparently global growth is slowing, and this is a big surprise to everybody. You can't make this stuff up. It's impossible. I have sat here in this lovely chair in front of this lovely background in this lovely room, explain to all of you for I don't know how long that the global economy, not just the economy here in the United States, is cratering. Well, now it is making, headline news. The propaganda ministry, they don't understand what's going on. Yes. So the news today, and this is spooking the market, is the global economy is in fact cratering. Not just that. There's all this talk about inflation surging much higher than it already is. Oh, really? I'm so surprised. Who's been explaining this like since time in freaking memorial? This guy has, and you all know that, people. Look, they must sincerely believe that we are all just retarded, okay? There's no escaping what is coming because this has all been laid out before. Again, this is deliberate. We are in a global economic meltdown, okay? But the stock market has yet to figure that out because all of the easy money that's been pouring in here since forever now. Oh, here, you hear this one now? There is calls for crude oil to not just hit $100 a barrel, but to surpass that and hit $125 a barrel. It's going to happen. We're going to get there. It's just a matter of time. And then you got Jeffrey Gundlach, the bond king here, super billionaire, explaining that the U.S. dollar is going to collapse. Well, I mean, duh. It is collapsing right before our eyes. Anyone that doesn't see this obviously isn't living in the real world. Anyway, so right now, this morning, fear. There is a fear trade going on. Let's talk about how that's playing out. So stock futures are lower. Dollar, relative strength of the dollar is stronger. People, the MMRI is over 106. Now, I'm not saying this is anything dramatic, that we need to go run for the hills or anything like that, but keep your eye on the MMRI. Are you new here? Well, a link to the MMRI, the Mannarino Market Risk Indicator, is in the description of this video. You're not going to find a better measure of risk for this market anywhere else, so pay attention to that. What else is going on? Cryptocurrencies under pressure. People, Bitcoin is just under 41,000. Gold and silver under a little bit of pressure here. Crude oil about $79 a barrel, and again going much higher. Look, Jeffrey Gundlach is right. Don't listen to Greg Mannarino if you don't want to. Listen to a billionaire fund manager, bond king guy, explaining that the U.S. dollar is basically dead. It's a dying asset. It's evaporating. Its absolute strength, it's going down the toilet. Relative strength, I told you, will remain high. In case you don't know, people, there is a race to the bottom with regard to global currencies. Central banks around the world are deliberately melting their currencies, okay? And this is part of their mission here to become the lenders and buyers of last resort. They continue to pump the global economy with more debt, even though we are in a global meltdown with regard to the... Don't listen to Greg Mannarino anymore. I mean, now you can hear this from the mainstream if you need to listen to them. This is no secret to anybody. I can't imagine a person who has even the slightest clue as to what's going on that is buying the dog shit, that we're booming, we're doing fantastic. Look, It's propaganda. All of it is, you understand the situation with money velocity at its historic low. You can't have a recovery. You can't have a boom without the rate at which cash is moving through an economy going higher. But you're not allowed to know this. All right. Further speculation here. You got Goldman Sachs explaining that they believe the Fed is going to raise rates 4 times this year. And this is spooking the markets too. So you got a multitude of things. You have these new variants. There's at least 2 new variants going around now. And that's spooking the market here. You name it. So the market, as I explained to you yesterday in my Markets A Look Ahead segment, uncertainty. Okay, the market doesn't like that. And when you hear things being, propagated here by the mainstream, oh yeah, the global economy really isn't doing so well here. Global debt continues to surge. Deficits are out of control. All the things that Greg Mannarino has been explaining since like forever. When it makes the mainstream, well, there's a problem here. And it's getting people rattled. But in my view, the easy money is not going to stop. So what does that mean? Yes, you're going to see volatility in the markets. Who explained that? Well, since a while now and covered it yesterday. Greg Mannarino did. Who explained to you a couple of weeks ago that you will see extreme volatility in the crypto space? Greg Mannarino did. Who's been telling you about the dollar dying way before Jeffrey Gundlach? Well, Greg Mannarino did. All of this stuff is happening right before our freaking eyeballs, people. And to me, look, this is not about being afraid. It's not about being scared and running into some corner, sucking your thumb or anything along those lines. This is about, again, something I just covered yesterday. Realizing that there is going to be periods within this market that don't work out exactly like we want it to. The market does not simply go straight up all the time. We have to get through those times in the market where it doesn't perform that way. And that's what defines us. How we deal with situations in the market that aren't completely ideal and capitalizing on fear. How many times over the years have you heard me say that? We're not going to stop. And we're not going to deviate from our current plan, people. I don't know another way to put it. We realize what is happening around us. And it just makes it clear to us what we should be doing. Number 1, betting against the debt, becoming your own central bank, be an anti-debt units. You don't want to listen to Greg Mannarino about the dollar. Like I said, there's other guys talking about it here with big, huge, lofty names and billions of dollars. Look, I know you get it. You understand all this if you follow this blog. But look, so what are we going to do? So we have a market this morning that appears to be at least ready to open under some pressure on speculation as to what the Federal Reserve may or may not do. We know what the Fed is going to do. They're going to continue to inflate. Anyone that tells you different is wrong. That's their goal, to inflate, and inflate some more. This is the goal of central banks around the world. People, I've explained to you that a whole new set of rules would come, and they're here now. More control. Things you can't believe are going to be thrown at you and me and everybody else moving down the pike here. So we will remain steadfast in our mission to get through all this, and not just get through it, but capitalize on all of it. That's what we're going to do. I mean, we are in an environment of hyper debt, which is going to get a lot worse. So you tell me, what do you want to do about it? You want to sit around and do nothing? Or do you want to at least try to take advantage of the situation here with regard to the market? If we realize that inflation is not going to stop, and we're getting all these warnings about more inflation coming, much higher than it is already, and the Fed has no intention of really doing anything about it. You remember all the talk? Oh yeah, we're actually ready now to do something about inflation. Bullshit. When they overshot their 2% target, They weren't ready. They went to 3%. They still weren't ready. 4% not ready. 5% still not ready. 6% still not ready. Now 7%. Oh, they're finally ready now. Are you buying that? Are you believing that? No, absolutely not. Not a single one of you who follow this blog believes that's true. And if in fact crude oil hits, I told you there's a lot of investment banks talking about $125 crude. Could you imagine what the prices of things are going to be, gauging on from how many products are made from crude oil? People, get prepared. Get ready for what's coming. A dying dollar. Number one, like I said, don't listen to me anymore. Listen to Jeffrey Gundlach if you want to. Ray Dalio, another billionaire hedge fund manager, basically saying the same things that I've been saying for the longest time. Listen to these guys if you want to. But they're way behind the curve. I've been explaining this stuff for years. So anyway, you know what to expect, people, and you know what to do about it, okay? Like I said, we're not going to deviate from our current strategy. We're going to wade through this like we always do, like we have done for freaking years, and we come out on the other side smelling like a rose. That's exactly what we're going to do. Anyway, all right, people, look, we will reconvene in this lovely spot later on today, and we will discuss the day's events. What fun it's going to be. I tell you, outrageous, people. I'm out of here. Love you a lot. Please share the video, and I will see you later.